Okay, this is outside the Church of the Beatitudes, and that is the Sea of Galilee. That's Tiberias. Way over there is the, I guess you're not going to be able to see it. City of Tiberias.
You know what milk that is?
Oh my god. You yelling at me right there was more angry. You're fucking this up, dude. On the side. Alright. You're fine. You're fine. You got snacks up there? I'm gonna go get a snack stat real quick. Excuse me, does anybody know where the snacks are? We got some. What? You gonna fly away? Down right. Actually.
Don't get too close so I can get the...
Before that happened, my wife dropped it.
I don't know.
There's the actual Church of the Beatitudes right there.
right?
Legit.
Did you get one? Yeah, I got one. Right? It's like that. But you believe in
كتير كتير هن حابين.
I'm not sure what that is. Okay, this is the Church of the Multiplication of Loaves and Fish. Kind of the outside patio area. Nice little. This is like church. There's 7 springs or something. And the Greeks called it Heptatron, and the Arabs changed it to Tabgar, something like that. What's up? Okay, we're in Capernaum now. This is the Jesus town.
Listen up. First of all, again, the Hebrew name of this place, it's called Kefar Nahum. Okay, Kefar Nahum or Capernaum. Kefar in Hebrew, it means village. Okay, a small village, a small town. Nahum, we don't know exactly what it means, but it's possible. Okay, that it's the name of the ancient prophet Nahum. Okay, or someone else by the same name. So probably the name of the place is the village of Nahum. Okay, as we know it from Hebrew, and we know quite a lot about this village, okay, because of the Old Testament and because of the New Testament. In the New Testament, it says that Capernaum was a village, okay, between the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali, okay, the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali, and this is indeed the two tribes, next to the sea, and we see the sea over there, okay, and next to the Via Maris, that is the way of the sea, the main road in ancient times. So there is no doubt that this is the ancient Capernaum that the Bible tells us a lot about the place. It was a place where a few hundred families used to live, mainly fishermen. Okay, remember that Simon Peter was from here, Andrew and others. Okay, they were all fishermen from here, from Capernaum. There was probably a small industry, maybe olive press. Okay, that we see over there, and some other things, but that was basically it. Remember that nothing was left from Capernaum. There is no modern village nowadays. One of the things is that Jesus cursed Capernaum, comparing Capernaum with Sodom and Gomorrah. And he said that the end of Capernaum was going to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah because people here didn't follow Jesus. Okay? And indeed you see that nothing was left. Okay? Just ruins and archaeological remains. This is what we see in this area. I mentioned it again that the main road from the Roman period, okay, passed just next to this village, and that's the reason that a lot of people, okay, used to come and go in this area. And if Jesus was performing a miracle, or if he was preaching in a different way that they never heard, imagine that people could walk in those days, okay, at least 20 miles a day. That means that in 5 days, okay, in an area of about 100 miles, people knew it. Just in 5 days, they knew exactly what was going on here in Capernaum. And the Bible tells us that Jesus left Nazareth and came to live here in Capernaum. It's not that Jesus just passed through Capernaum, made a few miracles, and then continued. But this was the place of the house of Jesus here in Capernaum. And that's the reason, I don't know if you saw it, but there is a sign at the entrance that says, Capernaum, the town of Jesus. Okay? The town of Jesus, according to what it's mentioned in the New Testament. He used to live here, and from here he used to go to different places and always come back here to Capernaum. And there are two important things, folks, to see here. One is the Jewish synagogue over there that you will see in a minute. If you have a look, you see that most of the original stones from this area are black, okay? Volcanic stone, basalt stones. Okay, this is the original stone of this area over here. And many years ago, there used to be a volcano over here, and also there were many earthquakes. Okay? And you know that the last serious earthquake was here in 1837. But we believe that Capernaum was completely destroyed by an earthquake in the year 749. 749, this earthquake completely destroyed the village of Capernaum. They said that from tomorrow and in the next 10 years, we're going to have a big earthquake also here in this area of the Galilee. Okay, but it's from tomorrow, nothing to be worried about today. Okay, because of the area. I started mentioning about the synagogue. In the Bible, it says that Jesus came to teach and preach here in this synagogue, in the synagogue of Capernaum. This is how it's written. Now we discovered here just one synagogue. There is no other synagogue here in Capernaum, and this is one of the places again, and that we can say for sure that Jesus was here. Not maybe there or maybe there, but he was exactly here for the only reason that this is the only Jewish synagogue discovered here in Capernaum. Not that it's important, the exact spot. The important thing is that what Jesus did and he said here. But if you want to say one place that we can be 100% sure, it's beyond tradition or faith, archaeologically we know that he was in this Jewish synagogue that we're going to see. The black stones, I don't know if you can see them, the black stones, the lower lines of stones that we see there are the original ones from the time of Jesus. Then the white stone, the limestone that we see there, that it's not the original stone from here. Probably the limestone was brought from Jerusalem, okay, or from the other places of the Galilee. It's a synagogue from the 4th century. Again, there was a Jewish synagogue here in the time of Jesus. This synagogue, okay, was destroyed. We don't know what happened. And then in the 4th century, they built another synagogue over the place where the ancient synagogue was. Okay, and this is the synagogue with the white stones, with the limestones that we see over there. And also in the Bible, it's written that Jesus left the synagogue and entered the house of Peter. Okay, this is how it's written. He left the synagogue and entered the house of Peter. That means maybe that the house of Peter was near the synagogue. Okay, and indeed the other building, the second place that we're going to see afterwards, is the house of Peter. We know that this is the place where there was a sick person, okay? But it was so crowded next to Jesus that they had to lower him down through the roof. If you remember, the Bible tells us through the roof all the way down. And this is, as I mentioned before, the place where Jesus healed Peter's mother-in-law. Okay, in this place over there, some people say that that's the reason Peter denied Jesus later on 3 times. He never forgave him that he saved his mother-in-law, but that's another thing. Okay, but it took place over there in the church of St. Peter, as it knows nowadays. And also there they show some of the remains of what we believe is the house of Peter. Again, why most people believe that the house of Peter was there? Because when they started with the archaeological excavations, they discovered a church from the 4th and another one from the 5th century. And as I was saying before, if there was a church over there, that meant that something important happened there. Churches were not built just like that, like today. Every neighborhood had to have a church, but something important happened over there. And what is important here, except the synagogue, probably the house of Peter that we see there. There's 1 or 2 other things. How do we know that this is a synagogue and not just a public building or something else? Mainly because of the ornaments, because of the things that were discovered inside the synagogue. If you have a look at this column over here on top, you see the menorah, the Jewish candelabra with the 7 branches. Can you see it, guys? On top. This is probably, together with the Star of David, the most Jewish typical symbol. Okay? The menorah, the 7-branched candelabra, that was in the temple of Jerusalem. Okay? In the first temple built by King Solomon, and the second temple, we're going to see tomorrow the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall. Okay? This is where this menorah, the Jewish candelabra, okay, was in those days. Okay? So what we're going to do now, first of all, any questions before we start? All right. So now, as I was saying, 20 to 12, okay? 20 to 12, we have about half an hour, a little bit more, okay? Just to look around at the Jewish synagogue if you want. Have a look at the house of St. Peter over there, the church of St. Peter over there. Also, if you go up to the church, and I hope that they don't have a service and it's open, if you go into the church upstairs, inside the church in the center, they have like a window. And if you look down through the window, through the glass, all the way down, you can see actually what according to the tradition is the house of Peter here in Capernaum. Okay? Ready to go? Let's go have a look at the Jewish synagogue and then the house of Peter. 20 minutes to 12
I'd like to have something to right. Mulch. Grab it. I want one of those. Sounds right there. Yeah, dude. Sure.
Now have a look at the 3 gates that were the main entrances to the Jewish synagogue. All the Jewish synagogues in the world are facing Jerusalem.
So what happens when Jesus curses you?
South, so the 3 entrances are facing the city of Jerusalem. And here we see some of the remains of the ancient city.
Nah, I doubt that is the ancient city. That's when everybody was one for a cause. It's a good point, though. It's a good point.
Hey, put your finger on it, man. You know, something.
I like that. Second service of the synagogue. Only men were on top and women were here. So they like
pictures to me? Yeah. Let me get one in here. Okay.
Take one of me real quick. Esto es del siglo IV, 1600.
Stand right here. Hold right here. Decirle que junto a la época de allá.
Okay, it's kind of hard to see from here, but just past those trees is Sea of Galilee.
Execute move. Gosh. Sorry, I thought it was on still.
I blacked out last night.
Komen jullie even hier naartoe? Voor de uitleg? Ik heb net al een hele goede vraag van hoe weten wij dat dit het huis van Petrus geweest is? Ja. En we hebben hier natuurlijk ook al gezegd dat het rond in de 1800 zoveel gekocht. We hebben de Franciscaanse lijken gegraven, eerst hij zelf. Later hebben we ook andere archeologen zijn hier ook nog geweest. We hebben dus net samen geruzied over de datering van deze stenen van deze synagoge. Want de archeologen dachten dus uit de 5e eeuw, 4e eeuw, van de munten gewonnen uit de 4e, 5e eeuw. Maar de archeologen hebben het gedateerd op via de stijl en alle dingen. Dat zou wel uit de 3e eeuw. We hebben hier over het huis van Petrus. Dus we hebben hier in dit huis als archeoloog, de Franciscanen hebben hier heel veel dingen gevonden. Visserij, gereedschappen,